Great, you made it to the last video of the first section of the One and All Youth Masterclass. We hope you're finding value in this because they were created with you in mind. We're wanting to help you win as a team member and leader in ONA Youth. But we want to make the expectations as clear as we possibly can. So the number one expectation is that you are maturing as a follower of Christ, that you're taking next steps. I know you probably hear that all the time and think, we know. But keep in mind that your being with God comes first. And it's from out of that which you lead others and you do things for God. Being with God comes before doing for God. Who you are and who you're becoming is more important than what you do. Who before do. Okay, now the tangible expectations. I'll start with the heavier or considered more negative ones. Because serving students is a privilege, it's not a right. It's a sacred service to God and to these youth, and we want the right people moving in the right direction, in the right spots, leading these youth. We expect every leader to live a life of integrity. We expect you to be consistently modeling Christ in your life. You are the same person on Monday through Saturday that you are on a Sunday or during a community group. That you are refraining from drug use, from sexual relationships outside of marriage. That you are being a good example on your social media. That you are not using it as a political platform. I'm not trying to take a side on anything. I'm not trying to make a stance of any kind. But if you do this, you will cause division within the students and in the ministry in which you are now a leader and representative of. We also ask that you do not consume alcohol or tobacco in the presence of students or other leaders under the age of 21. I'd ask you to not actually post anything about alcohol or tobacco on your social media as well. We ask that you be a role model, mentor, and example of Jesus to the best of your ability to these young people. We do expect you to be attending weekend services here. You are part of the One and All Church family. If you are not, we may actually remove you or ask you to step down and take a break. A great thing to actually do for these weekend services as well is to ask your group to come and sit with you on the weekend. Check with your spouse first, but this will help organically communicate to them that they're actually part of the larger church if we connect them to campuses and to the weekend. Okay, now take a deep breath. Those were the heavier ones. Here are some of the more clear-cut expectations for serving in youth. We expect you to be at One Nights every first Wednesday of every month. These are important for the ethos or DNA of ONA Youth. To be at the leader huddle at 6:15 in the fireside room to pray for the night together and to receive any information you might need. We need you at those. Be at the leader huddle. Plus, it's just really great to see all the leaders together in one spot. We ask that for leading a youth community group, you serve the full school year. That means the fall and spring semesters. We will get into that a bit later, but we encourage you to strategically take placed breaks from meetings in groups within the school year, or at least the calendar year in ONA Youth. Typically a May and an August, and then sometime during the holidays as well. And that's actually for your benefit. We want to have a healthy rhythm. We want longevity within serving. We care more about you as a leader in a year from now than you right now. And we do know some things are just out of our control, but we ask that you try your very best to stay consistent through this time. If leading a community group, you will have a co-leader, both for safety and support. Please try your best to not be absent more than 2 times in a semester. If you have to miss, please over-communicate with your co-leader and your coach as you lead. As far as other community group details go, we will cover that in the community group section. But those are the spelled out expectations for you as a leader. Now, if you can't do these, please don't acknowledge below that you can't. Or if there are concerns over these, please get with your campus lead or your coach or with a staff member and see where there might be a communication breakdown. But I would encourage you, keep eternity in mind. As a leader, we ask that you begin with the end in mind. Meaning if you had to write a mission statement for what it would look like if, for you as a leader, what would it say? Let's say you serve for the next 3 years in youth, and at the end of those 3 years, what would you have hoped to have happened in your life and the lives of the youth you are serving? What would you hope people remembered you for? What would your reputation be after 3 years? That's the leader that you want to be. Keep eternity in mind because you're impacting and affecting the eternity of these students. Be the kind of leader you needed when you were their age. All right, you made it. You have gotten through the vision section for the O&A Youth Masterclass. We hope your heart is caught up in love for God, overflowing with love for these students. But don't worry, we're not done yet. By the end of this, you will be a fully equipped youth ministry connoisseur. At the end of this course, you will know exactly how to survive in youth ministry, but Pastor Byron right now will be covering basically how to survive at a one night.